This ad strategy launched my personal brand income from 4.5K a month to 18.8K in only 1 month. And the big factor on that, first of all, before we even dive into this and the ad strategy and how it works and the two things that you're probably doing wrong and the reason why it's not going to work for you, but I'm going to show you how to overcome those things. But before we get into all that, the real thing that made a difference was me going all in and trusting the process. I was making 2 to 3K a month and I was trying to grow it, and I knew that I needed to use ads. And I got on the call with the potential mentor that I was looking at hiring, and I didn't decide to invest. And I tried it on my own for 2 to 3 months, and I spent like over $10,000 on ads and barely made any money back. And then I came back to him and I was like, all right, dude, let me pay you the 5 grand and let me get this thing going. Okay. So that is my experience with that. And then I was making 4 to 5K a month for a couple months after I had learned that. And then I just needed to go all in, right? He pushed me to go all in. And this is me pushing you to go all in before we even start this. If you're doing organic now and it's crushing, or you're doing, whatever, and it's working for you, amazing. Keep doing that, double down on that, and do your thing. But if you are looking for another alternative, or you've been doing organic for a long time, or maybe you're like me, you've gotten millions of views organically and only made a few $1,000s from it, but then I started using ads and then I made hundreds of thousands of dollars from it. Okay, so I say that so that you can understand the context of going into this. All right, so here we go again. This ad strategy took me from 4.5K a month to 18.8K in 1 month with my personal brand. All right. And that was over $10,000 profit that month. So doing all this while posting content that only got 15 likes, because you don't have to have an incredibly huge content presence and get millions of views if you're talking to the right people. And the problem is that when we make content that quote unquote goes viral or is viral worthy, it's just stuff that's going to be like shared, or stuff that's funny that people are sending to their friends or whatever. Realistically, most of the time, the very valuable things that you're creating are not going to go viral, even if they're incredibly valuable, right? So that's just the reality of it. Now, not only did this work for me, obviously it worked for other people too. I had a client, wonderful client that I worked with, Faith, and she had 25,000 followers and tons of engagement, but she was like barely making $1,000 a month. And then now she's crushing 10 to 15K months, right? And so I helped her obviously use this ad strategy too. So the secret in all of this is combining ads with organic. That's just at its simplest, because ads are cool because you can put stuff in front of the right person and get someone to click on something, and that's cool, but then they're not really bought into you. Whereas organic, yeah, they're going to get really bought into you, but then you tap into the algorithms not showing your audience to people, and like I said, the valuable stuff not getting shown to the right people, and it's just a mess. And so if we can combine those two, that is when the magic happens. When we can get in front of the right people and pay to get in front of the right people and put our super valuable content that is perfectly directed towards them, but just doesn't get a ton of views because it's not viral worthy. And then we can combine that incredible organic content and put it in front of the right people with the ads. That's when the magic happens. All right. And so, yes, of course, ads can be as simple as pressing the boost button on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is. Even YouTube has a promotion feature thing now. It can be as simple as that. But the problem is, and why it doesn't work for most people, is the two main reasons that I mentioned at the beginning. Number one is your messaging, your marketing, your content, your branding sucks. It's not as good as you think it is. And if you can't accept that, if you aren't willing to accept that fact, you should probably just leave this video right now, because the rest of the stuff isn't going to help you, right? So I could give you all the tactics all day long, and the actual, whatever, press this button, but it's really not that hard to run ads to, like I said, boost a post. It's very easy. The problem is, and why people don't make money from it, is because their content, messaging, branding, marketing, the heart of their business is very weak and it's very bad. And you're just trying to make it work by thinking that ads are going to save it. But in reality, what you're doing and what you're speaking is just not good. It's just crap. Okay. So that's the first problem. The second problem, and that leads down to you not being authentic, and we're going to touch on that. The second problem is you have the wrong audience. Like I already mentioned with the viral worthy content, that is a huge problem. You have the right, you maybe have the right value, but then it's not getting to the right people. Okay. And so, like I said, messaging, content, branding sucks. So part of that is, or the main part of that problem where it stems from is lacking authenticity. And so I filmed a reel about this today. It'll go up in a few days probably, but I was out for a walk and I was like really thinking about how so much of the content out there, and it really makes me frustrated and upset to see this, is just like top 3 tips for XYZ, right? And it's like, it's so bad. It's so bad. I literally said in the video, in the reel that I filmed, you'll see it on my Instagram. If you're not following me, you should follow me on Instagram. There's a link down in the description. And I literally said, every time that I see a post that says top 3 tips for XYZ, I die a little inside. Because it's true, because I do. Because it's so horrible, because I see this wasted potential. I see these people that have this knowledge and skills that they want to share with the world that they're passionate about, but then it's getting shown through vanilla, boring, average content. And if you want to be exceptional and get exceptional results and make a lot of money and do all these things, you can't make average, boring, vanilla content. It has to be exceptional content, right? And so we could go on all day long about that, and I can do another video sometime about how to, make your content better and all that stuff. But the real thing here is the authenticity. Is don't be afraid to give your opinions, right? Like on for example, on that video that I filmed earlier today, I said if I see another, or I said every time I see a top 3 ways to do XYZ post, I die a little inside. That is so authentic and opinionated and polarizing and true, because that is actually how I feel, because I feel and I see wasted potential, right? And that is so much of a better hook, and is going to speak to my exact person that I'm trying to reach, rather than top 3 ways to get more clients online. It doesn't matter. I'm telling them what they're doing sucks, and I'm telling them that it's hurting me. That is way better of a hook, right? And so that's where the authenticity comes into play. And a lot of times you're following these trends, or you're following these viral, using these same viral hooks and whatever, and then everybody just becomes a copycat of everybody else. Everybody just does the same thing. Everybody just ends up going into the top 3 tips for XYZ, and now everybody is vanilla, boring, and average, right? And so I wrote a point here that I wanted to stick with and send this point home. Authenticity is saying what you think instead of saying what you think everyone wants you to say. I'm going to read that again. Authenticity is saying what you think instead of saying what you think everyone wants you to say. So you think that it's fine to go viral and trendy and whatever by copying the same thing, but that's not. People want to hear something different. People want to hear an opinion that sticks out. People want to hear something they haven't heard before. That's what resonates with people, and that's what will actually make you money. Sometimes it goes viral, sometimes it doesn't. It's a lot more rare, but that's the reality of it, is that's what's going to make you money. And so do you want to get viral and get, be like Faith and have 25,000 followers and barely making $1,000 a month? Or do you want to actually speak correctly and be authentic and make a lot of money, make 10 to 15K a month, right? And beyond, okay? And I was doing not even the best job at being authentic. I could have done even better. And, we got out to, I think, think it was like 35 or 37K was the biggest month that I've hit. And I could have been a lot more authentic. I could have done a lot better, right? But still, it was me not being vanilla and boring and average, all right? And this is all because of a phrase that I live by, is that people buy from people, not businesses. And so when you create this boring content, you're just being a business, all right? So your goal is to do more connecting and less selling. So that's the big problem, is authenticity. Now, problem number 2 is the virality, like I briefly touched on. But in reality, it's the wrong audience. You're reaching the wrong people, right? Because if you have the wrong audience, you will never have any leads. If you are getting a bunch of views, but you're reaching the wrong people, they're not going to buy from you. And so this is going to lead you to never making money ever with a personal brand, or barely making any money ever with a personal brand. And so now for the part that you've all been waiting for, the ad strategy. Like I said, it's very simple. It's nothing crazy. The parts that I talked about before, the authenticity mainly, is the most important thing, because I can give you this ad strategy and tell you exactly what to say. But if your authenticity in your content, your branding sucks, you will not make money from these ads. You will lose money. Okay? So now that you got that down pat, now I can give you the ad strategy and the framework that you can follow, all right? So the easiest way to get the right leads and to get people to pay you is to create an ad that does 3 things. Calls them out specifically, speaks directly to their struggles and issues, and then displays your unique approach to helping them. Something new that they haven't tried yet. So I'll say it again so you don't have to rewind it. Calls them out specifically, speaks directly to their struggles and issues of why they can't get to their dream outcome, what is holding them back, and then displays your unique approach to helping them. And even better, your unique approach to helping people just like them, and how you've done it for other people before who are just like them and in their same position, or you were in their same position and you were able to overcome problems, struggles, issues, and achieve a dream outcome. It's incredibly simple, all right? And this won't be a viral post, but it will make you money. And then your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, your Facebook, Instagram boost, your YouTube promotion, then you run a simple ad that is native to the platform on there, just like that, and you will make money. But the important part is the authenticity, and then dialing in that ad framework that I just gave you. And that's it, guys. That's how I've made multiple 6 figures online, is that right there. So hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to read a little bit and then head to bed and then wake up bright and early for church. So I will see you tomorrow.